I've been journaling for quite a while, but I have stopped, and I ended up finding my journal from 2007.
Wow.
So back then I was in a really bad spot. And I think a lot of women on this call can relate to this. And I just made a mark of something that I just wanted to share quickly, just to open this up. So my best friend, Jose, who's no longer here, unfortunately, he passed away 3 years ago. He had asked me a question. He asked, Cruz, what is it that you want? And I'm going to tell you exactly what I told him. I answered, it is not about what I want, because this is how I have always felt. What I wanted has never mattered. And he came back and he told me, but it is about what you want. And I just wanted to share that, because a lot of us, we live in that we're so about helping everybody else with their problems, with what they're going through. And we end up putting our own needs to the side or to the back burner. And that's how we end up being so resentful. This was back in 2007. When Saudi found me, it was 2012. And I was a mess by then.
Wow. So for those that don't know, Cruz, Delaney, and I, and a couple of the other girls here, we've known each other for quite a few years, and we met through social media. We didn't know each other from a hole in the wall. So don't feel weirded out if you're like connecting with us and you're on this webinar. This is our thing. This is how we've built our relationships. And Cruz, thank you for sharing that, because I know where your heart was, sharing that with your friend, and for you to bring that out and just kind of see where your mindset is today and where it was back then, right? It makes you feel like you're in alignment, right? And that's what we're going to be we're diving in today. So let me just go into my presentation, and hopefully I can make this work, because I am
and you know what, guys, it's not easy for me to share anything in my journal, because my journal is my journal, right? But when I read that, I said, you know what, it goes perfect with what we're talking about. And I know that a lot of people are going through the same thing.
Of course. And what a coincidence, Cruz, that you found that right around the time that because we've been talking about putting this call together since December. So I'm going to go, so you can see my screen right now. So I'm going to go into present mode. This is Canva for those that never seen this, present. And let's see how it works. And Delaney will be chiming in. So you guys can see the screen good? Everything's good. All right, perfect. Yay, it's working. So tonight is all about setting new rules for 2020 and just glow up and master your mindset. And I wanted to use the word glow because I'm all about, one of my words that came up the other day was to be bright. And I always talk about, resonating at a high intensity level, which means to be bright and to be always at a high frequency. And that is something that I hope that you guys were able to do today with the pre-assignment, which was to find your Zen space and really just be in tune with you and with what you want for yourself. Because this kind of work of going into a journal and typing things up or writing things out, it really, it has to come to you in a time where you can reflect. And so that's the kind of space we wanted to create. So that's why Cruz came in with the music. So tonight we're going to get into reflecting back onto last year's New Year's resolutions. I always like to think about last year's New Year's resolutions. I even take it a step further, and since this is a new decade, I went back and just started thinking about the last 10 years. And the any love relationships and romance, anything that's been going on that has broken you down, anything that you're grateful for, a journey you've been through, or anything that you're being forced into alignment in your life, anything that you're feeling beautiful from the inside out, anything that was like life-changing, exciting, any type of leadership or responsibilities. Like Cruz, I don't know if you want to elaborate on this one, But we wanted to make sure that we started off with reflection, because when you can reflect, you can put yourself into perfect alignment before you can move forward. I know that the last few weeks and the last few days, everybody's been setting up new resolutions and you're setting up all these things, but I feel like you have to do a life audit first before you can go into the process of setting up goals for the new year. And you also have to leverage the energy, right, and the setting. And that's why we wanted to make sure that you had a very good setting for yourself. And the reason for that is because if you can't find something to be excited about from last year, if you can't hash out the things that went wrong, if you can't own the things that didn't happen for you, if you can't stop blaming others for whatever resolution you didn't accomplish, you're just going to carry that energy into the new year, right?
Yeah, and I totally agree. I agree with you. One of the things that I was actually writing before the meeting, and it's about our own identity, our own story, our own beliefs that we have in ourselves. What are your beliefs around when it comes to money? What are your beliefs when it comes to relationship and your own health? Those are the questions that, as we're going through this meeting, you should really start asking. And I have a couple of questions because I know Saudi told you to bring your journals. So I'm going to give you a couple of reflective questions for you to, ponder on throughout the week and really think, where am I with this? And I'm telling you, these cards, they're really everything.
So for those that are for those that don't know, so we've released a program that is all about mind, body, and soul. It's a bar blend workout. People look at it and they think it's a ballerina type of workout, but it's so much more than that. It works the inside, and it also builds your body up. And it's amazing because it's one of the things you have to do is you have to pick a card every single day. And today my card was so good because it's about transforming. And I think that's what's going to happen on tonight's on this webinar. And so I'll go to the next slide without messing this up. Okay. So we already talked about what we were going to do as far as an audit for 2020. I think it's important. So you guys all have your journal. And did you know that we were going to work together tonight? It's not just you listening to Cruz and Deslani and I. You guys are, and Melissa, you guys are actually going to, it was a reason why we wanted you to set up the ambience. And, I don't want you to dim the lights because then I can't see you, but we played some music. And this is something you can do when we get off the call as well, because I'm sure we're not going to be able to finish everything tonight. But it's mostly about connecting and preparing you to have that intimate conversation with your soul. Just like Cruz shared that back in 2007, she had to go into her journal and write about something deep, something bold that was happening. So we're going to go deep. We're going to be bold with ourselves. Okay. And so let me just see here because it's not showing me. Okay. So step 2, obviously, is you have to have your journal. So take your journals out. We're going to be looking into the 4 areas of our lives. Okay. And one of them is romance and relationships. The other one is lifestyle and friendship. And the other one is my body, health, fitness, and your style. And then number 4 is career, wealth, impact, and fame. And this is not like your typical 2020 type of call. And I know a lot of you are here because you want your mindset to be strong because you're about to start a journey or you're in your journey. But guys, I promise you that if you start to tap into this, if you start to feel these 4 areas a little bit more, meaning that you go deep and you get specific about each category, you're going to be able to really do a brain dump and get the things onto your journal that need to be worked on. This isn't like a woohoo type of call where you're going to kind of like come out of here and everything's going to be fixed. You're probably going to be a little off balance by the end of the call. But if you do these things, then I feel like you can go on to your journey. Then I feel like you can go on to 2020 with a little bit more of an understanding of where it is that you want to go and what is it that you want to accomplish. Okay, so make these 4 categories. So in your journal, I'm going to do this with you guys. Let's do it right now. If you don't have a journal, you can take a piece of paper, grab a piece of paper, grab your kid's notebook. And so we're going to put the 4 categories, which are love, life, my body, and my career. Okay, I'll go to the next slide where you guys are writing down your 4 categories. Okay. Let me know when you guys are done. Cruz, you done with your 4 categories? So that way I know if I didn't go too fast. I write fast. And I'm drinking coffee, so I feel sorry for you guys. Oh, man. Okay, so an example of what you're going to be tapping into, because some of you probably have never done this. So we're going to write 5 to 10 things that you really want to manifest this year. Okay, so this is kind of like your list of goals. And I'm keeping it to 5 to 10, but if you want to go a little bit over again after this call, you can do that. And what this is going to become is the map for your year. And this is going to actually help you. So you see how I started off with, let's reflect and think about what happened in 2019. For me, like I had to go back and go into my last decade. And I know this call isn't long enough for you to like take time to do that, but I'm sure that by the, off the top of your head, some of the things that went on that you didn't accomplish. I promise you that just by you doing this small little exercise of writing into your future tense, you will not come up short, because there's something that happens when you write things out. So for example, I envision, like, my dream is, having, so you guys, a lot of you that don't know, I'm a wellness coach. I influence people on the internet to better their lives. And so, one of the parts of my business is to mentor my team after they've reached their results and they have belief in the product and they have belief in what they've accomplished. One of the things is that they then go and they share with others what's happening to them, kind of like how you guys found me, or some of you who were invited by one of my coaches. So one of my big visions is for my coaches to be making 6 and 7 figures, and for all of us to be able to contribute at a high scale, like, to do a lot of contributional stuff, for me to be able to contribute to the people in my immediate family that are in need, to be an advocate in my community, to really help women become bold enough, right? Like I'm hoping that you guys become bold enough for change, for you to get better in your fitness, for you to get better in your health, but most importantly for myself to be able to earn, just like they do. Like, I don't want to be the only one earning. I want them earning, and I want to have multiple streams of income, and I want to have a bigger home, and I want to have investment property. Like, that's kind of like some of the examples that I want you guys to write out. Immediately, like, I want to own more property. I want to be able to make an extra $1,000 a week. So be very specific on your 5 to 10 things. I don't know if, Cruz, you want to give them some examples, Delaney or Melissa. I could go real big on my dreams here, on my goals. And as you guys are sharing, if anybody else wants to share, feel free, because I know that sometimes when someone shares what their goals are, then you're like, oh my gosh, I want that too. Okay, and while you guys finish that part, that might be the part that takes the longest on here tonight. So a lot of the stuff you're going to be working on your own later on. Okay. Just was making sure that I wasn't on the wrong slide. So just to rewind, just in case anybody just hopped on, the first part of this whole project that we're doing tonight was to set up your space. Okay, step 2 was to start journaling. That's what we're doing right now, based on the 4 areas. And so if like you want an example of romance and love, because I just gave you kind of like my career ones and my wealth, kind of like what's on my mind all the time. But as far as love and career, I definitely want more date nights, more traveling with my family, a lot more relationship stuff for sure. And lifestyle and friendship is kind of like intertwined in my life because most of my friends are part of this incredible business. And so one of the biggest goals that we have is to meet up more and do more sisterhood events and stuff like that. So if you're wanting ideas in those categories, that's some ideas. Before we go into number 3. Sorry, we're on number 3 right now. We're going on to number 4. So number 4 is going to be following up in your daily practice. So now you kind of have a little bit of a map and you've written down some intentions in your journal. And now the vision is the crucial part. So you want to get into a little bit more detail on what you want this to look like. How do you want it to feel? And my husband's going to kill me if you hear me. Like, how do you want to feel when you're having sex? You know, I'm serious. Like, these are the type of things that a lot of us women don't. And like, Cruz touched on it. And I know she was going to elaborate on this. Like, there's some of us that don't even know what we want to feel, you know, in our intimacy. And then how are you going to ever even want to know how you want to look and how you want to nourish your body? Like, it's all connected. You know, I remember Melissa sharing when she first joined me, and I always remember this, like, she didn't want her husband to see her without her clothes in intimacy. Like, that's how some of you are feeling right now. And so when I was coming up with these daily practices, I wanted to touch on that because I want you to start feeling how you're going to feel when you are in that moment. And then how are you going to feel walking around in your lingerie or in a beautiful dress that you're fitting into because you reached your weight loss goal? How are you going to, you know, how is your clothes going to feel against your body? Like, so many of us don't feel sexy. We don't love ourselves. We look in the mirror and we hate what we see because it's what we're feeding our brain, you know? And so I want you to get into detail in this part of the journaling so that you can catch yourself when you're doing these sabotaging things that we do to ourselves every single day. So I know, Cruz, did you want to share a little bit more on that? I know that's your jam.
I was going to say that, yes, we don't consider our feelings. I think that that's a big part of us as women, that we're so busy, like I said before, you know, considering everyone else around us. And then it comes to a point where we end up growing resentment, or we get so sad or we're angry because we feel like no one cares about what we feel. So we need to start to tap into that area of feeling. What is it that you want? You know, how will your most courageous self show up? You know, you being this courageous woman, how will you show up in life differently? I think that that's one thing that we need to think about. I know I do. So
absolutely, it's huge, you know. And I know that some of the things, you know, that we always say is our friend Norris always talks about wearing, you know, that bright pink lipstick when you're not feeling so hot, you know, or picking out an outfit that's going to help you step into your power. I know Delaney, she's on here. I don't know if she wants to share. She recently was asked to speak at our last quarterly event. There was like 200 and something people there. And, you know, she was scared. It was something that I know was hard for her, but she knew that she had to step into her power, but she had to do some of this groundwork. Okay. I've known her for many years. Delaney, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
So do you want to share a little bit on this topic? Because I know this is something that you're big on. I know that, you know, you made sure that you wore the right outfit and you were envisioning yourself on that stage. And I know that you manifested a lot of things before, you know, doing coming out of your comfort zone and sharing your story this past weekend.
Yeah, so before I share about that, I want to share something about what you were mentioning about our body and how we feel and all of that, because I went through that after having Brian. Is my first pregnancy, and how big I got after the pregnancy was like, it really told me. But, I had a lot of relationship problem because of that, because I didn't have the confidence. My self-esteem was like in the floor. It was very hard to have like sex relationship because of how I felt. And, I was always, como se dice,
shy or covered or
no, like playing the victim, or like
insecure.
No, ay Dios mío, like, ay Dios,
playing the
como
victim.
culpándolo a él.
Oh, blaming
Yes,
him.
like
Yeah, that's
blaming.
insecurity.
Yes, blaming the other part, when in reality it was me who needed to take action and work on myself. So I went through that, and it was a really hard time. But when I made the decision to start working on myself, my personal development, on myself from the inside out, everything changed. And I can say, sex is so yummy. But I'm going back into your question. It's been a lot of groundwork, like Saudi said, to be the woman who I am today. And I was very shy, and it took me years to be able to share my story publicly, and to feel how I feel now, like so confident, and loving to dress myself when I have to speak at events. Like, I don't know, it just feels amazing. But like Saudi said, it's a lot of work that we have.
Yeah, and I wanted to use
mindset.
that. I wanted to use that as an example, because here we are. A lot of you are smack in the middle of your journey or starting your journey, and a lot of times we don't realize, why is it that we want to feel happy about our body? Why do it can't just be that you want to lose XY amount of pounds. It has to be so much bigger than that. And the manifestation really drops down to having the feeling of what it is that you want. And I know that's what this lady does, not only in her weight loss journey, but also when it comes to her career, when it comes to being a wife, when it comes to being a mom. And so I think it's very important when we are setting these intentions for 2020. And so now we're going to go into the rules, right? Because we have to have rules and we have to set standards, because this is all new for us. And I wanted to really hash this out, because like these mindset calls are really more to hear you guys and to see what you all need more help with, or where we can provide more tools for you. But at the end of the day, we have to make sure that your mindset is where it needs to be for you to now be able to move forward, because it's not just a weight loss journey. What is that? I hear something. Babe, do you have the stove on? I hear something. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm like hearing shit. All right. So the new standard, right, is that you only go out with people who excite you. I think this is huge. I know a lot of you follow us and you see that I keep my circle very, very selective. And I do that because I was 100 pounds overweight, guys. And it's very easy for me to lose myself and go back to this person that I was before. And this person that I was before was, partying a lot. And guys, if you follow me, I still like to party. I still, have my drinks here and there. And hubby and I are very, very outgoing people. And we still surround ourselves with very outgoing friends who also like the same things that we like, but in moderation. Okay. Who are you looking forward to spending your time with? Who actually interests and intrigues you and is inspiring you? Make the connection with those people. Are you practicing saying no to the rest that doesn't serve you? Are you are you communicating what it is that you want and what is it that you don't want? And are you dating yourselves? That's huge. if you can set these new single standards for yourself, and I wanted to start with these because a lot of times us women who are married, who are in relationships, we forget that we still have to have our single standards. Because if we don't, then how are you going to be the best wife? How are you going to be 100% in your relationship? So now I'm going to move forward to the relationship new standard. You know, are you communicating your needs and desires, and also listening to your partner's needs and desires? Because a lot of times, and I see this a lot, and sometimes I like want to shake women when I go do my nails and my hair, and I hear how horrible these women are with their husbands, and I'm like, wow, now I know why women get cheated on, because it's like a me mentality. You know, when you're speaking about your needs, you have to also put your spouse's needs first, because you've already handled yours as being the single, right? When you're handling your single standards, then you want to go and communicate with your husband, putting his needs first. Not that you're not going to take care of your needs, right? Because we started off with saying that you have to set up your space and be intentional with yourself, but we also have to know that in order for us to, we have to also be mindful of other people. And a book, and we're going to be recommending books, so have your pens out. One book that I recommend is the Five Love Languages Cruise? That is a book that is, I recommend it if you have any concerns in that area.
And I'm also going to place the link so the couples can do their test together, their quiz together.
Perfect. So you're not shaming or hating or making your partner feel like shit for not being with you, or if you want them to be, you know, you want them to be a certain way. It's in that book, you're going to see how asking for something in a different way can completely change your relationship. You know, are you having real conversation about what is right for one another and setting family goals? Are you calling yourselves partners, or like, are you really a team? You know, this is huge. Like, I always, like, my husband probably thinks I'm crazy. I'm like, babe, you're my team. Like, we're a team. Like, we always use that. Taking 100% ownership of whatever your role is in the relationship, and being committed to making the best relationship of your life. And you're probably saying, what does this have to do with my journey? It has everything to do with your journey. Because let me tell you something, my friends. I wasn't 100 pounds overweight because I was eating. I did eat, and I ate a lot, but it was all this stuff that wasn't right, and I wasn't aligned, and I was so off balance that I was this like roller coaster of a person, you know. And so your new life standards that we recommend is to have, you know, be adventurous, have fun, go explore, you know, appreciate art, be around incredible friends, find a hobby, guys. You know, the life cannot just be punching in and punching out. You know, that is why a lot of you tell me you can't fit in your workout. That is why you tell me that you can't meal prep. It's because you're not living. The moment you start living by a new standard, and you laugh more, and you do fine dining once in a while, and appreciate different cultures and experience life as it's meant to be, like, that's one of the biggest reasons why I love this opportunity, because I had no idea what my life standards were supposed to be. And I was manifesting that to my children. And I was just putting on the weight and putting on the weight. And I was calling it depression, when all it was that I was living by, I was just existing. I wasn't living. Who can relate to that? I think the chat box, Cruz, take a look at the chat box. I think people are relating to this stuff, because I know it's what's going on with us. I know that's why a lot of us can't get results. It's deeper.
Yeah, they are definitely relating in here.
Okay. So now we're going to tap into your health, body, new standard. Okay. Your health and body, new standard. All right. So the art of seduction and just existing. Changing your fitness wardrobe. This is huge for me. If you guys follow me, like, look, I'm wearing my freaking leopard print sweatsuit for you guys, for God's sake. I did it intentionally. It just does something to you. Like, I look forward to what I'm going to put on. It's not every time, not every day. Sometimes, I mean, most of the time, it's not really cute. It's maybe in pajamas at sometimes. But for the most part, at least once or twice a week, I like to feel pretty. in my whatever it is I'm going to wear, whether it's workout clothes or whether it's something for date night, whether it's an outfit when I'm going out with the girls, or if I'm going to go to Super Saturday. You better believe I'm thinking my outfit out. Super Saturday is our quarterly event that we have every 3 months. And so prioritizing your lifestyle, scheduling your workouts and your meal planning is so huge. And guys, anybody can do that. If you have time to watch a novela or watch a series on Netflix, you have time to prioritize your life. It could be done on a Sunday. You can take 30 minutes to write it all out. And, you know, not to, I sometimes hate the word meal prep because I think it makes people feel weird. I honestly don't use that word anymore. I just, every time I cook, I make a meal for the next day. Like I made dinner earlier while I was doing the slides for you guys, and I was making, I made lentils. So I have lentils for, I gave lentils to hubby for dinner, and I have lentils for tomorrow. And that's what I do. And it's like, I don't complicate it. And I always have a bunch of greens in there and could just make something really fast, but planning is key. Connecting to the community for accountability is huge. Like Cruz texts me when she's going to do her workout. Melly texted me this morning that she was cleaning and then she was going to do her workout. And then that motivated me to go do my workout. Like, you know, Delaney posts her workout every day. She's drinking her Energize, and that keeps us going, guys. I've been doing this for 9 years and I still need the accountability. I still need you all to motivate me. And so if I still need it, imagine you all. Some of you are just starting. Some of you are smack in the middle. And I know some of you are saying, well, I don't have that. Well, I didn't have it either. Okay, I created what I wanted to feel. I came into this community, you know, because I met my brother and his best friend, Tony. And that just was the door opening up for what it is that I was about to create myself with women like Cruz and a lot of you that are on here tonight. And so reward yourself with something like makeup or new clothes. I don't do this anymore because I saw that it was like a waste of money. But in the beginning, I was collecting sneakers. I know the girls probably remember. I went through a Nike, like I have every freaking retro Nike you can think of. It was part of my motivation. I look at those Nikes now. I want to set them up in my husband's building this thing for me because I feel like that's part of my journey. Like that equals, yeah, it was a lot of stupid money that I was investing, but it's also what made me lose that 100 pounds because it was like my motivation. Every time I lost some weight, I would reward myself. My tattoo was a reward when I hit the 100 mark. I have a big scorpion tattoo in the back of my back. I don't know what the heck I was thinking because that shit hurt and I almost died doing it. But every time I look at it, it's like a reminder to me of that accomplishment. You know, when you get ready in the morning, guys, your affirmations are huge. These cards are everything because now I don't have to Google or look for them. Like every day I pull out a card and it just really sets the tone for my day. It's almost as if I own the word because it's coming out to me. All right. Your workout, your food, it has to be like, if you don't have time to make an extra meal at night, then wake up a little bit earlier. I'm gonna be really honest with you. If you can't do both when it comes to working out and making your meals, I would sacrifice my workout and not my food. I mean, girls, do you disagree with me? I would sacrifice a workout and not my food because my food is what's nourishing my body from the inside out.
Yes, I agree with that too. And I'm just going to share quickly. When I came in at 219 pounds, I was not confident that this was going to work for me. I'm going to, and Saudi knows that. I had tried so many things that I didn't have that confidence that this would do anything for me. And yes, the community helped, the accountability helped, but I'm going to give you a secret. One of the things that really helped me to lose the weight and that builds confidence is keeping your own promise. Yeah. When you say you're going to work out, do it. Even if you have to do 10 minutes. I actually had a call with someone today who didn't feel like working out. And she told me, you know what, Cruz, I really need you to talk to me right now. But you know what I told her? I said, you know what, even if you do 10 minutes right now, and then tomorrow you go and do 10 more minutes, and then and you keep it going, and you increase the time, but just start doing something, because that's what's important.
That's so true.
And for me, when Saudi gave me Shailene Extreme, I nearly cried, and I did cry a lot because I had never done weights before. And I remember one day, no lie, I was in my room and I just broke down in tears. And I broke down in tears because I said, I cannot do this. But had it not been for the community that I was a part of, I would not have been able to lose that weight back then. Had it not been for me keeping my own promises to myself, I would not have been able to do as much as I did back then.
For those who don't know, Shailene Extreme, it was like the P90X, the woman, like it was like P90X, but by a woman. She's a trainer in our library for those who have Beachbody on Demand. It's an incredible program. I love that program. I know we should go back to that program. That was because the program comes with affirmations as well. And, she would tell you, like, you can do this. And, Cruz, I remember back then, and this is why, guys, it's so important that you put yourself through. Like, if any of you here are also coaches, right? There is something that I am truly, truly huge on, and that's the fact that I went first. And so when Cruz was feeling like this, I said, well, you're supposed to feel that way. None of us are supposed to go into any of these routines being able to crush it. These routines are created by athletes. These routines are created scientifically to give us results and to break down our muscle and to help us gain muscle and to help us lean out and shred. And so we have to build ourselves. And it's just like when you're a baby and you crawl, you learn how to crawl, and then you learn how to walk. And back then, my Jeremy, my 12-year-old was a baby, and he was little. And I used to always look at him, and I used to kind of like come back, because I also felt like that, Cruz. I also felt like, oh my God, I can't do this push-up. Oh my God, what am I going to do? And I remember turning off the TV and quitting many, many times. And again, through the community, through the friendships, and seeing stories like that even, me inspiring Cruz to start this journey, her struggles made me stronger, and my struggles made her stronger. And so it's a ripple effect, guys. And I know Cruz is going to recommend The Compound Effect, because that is the book that actually helped her and I. And so what happened is that the more you commit, right, and the more you finish these little wins, and you start to feel accomplished. So you start to kind of shift that. I always say it's like you crack the code in your own freaking head. You break the chip. You get in there and you just change everything that you've been doing for years and years that isn't serving you. And so now we're going to tap into some business stuff, new standards. And this applies to any area of your life. This isn't for Beachbody coaches. This is for anything that you're doing, because you have to thrive in every area of your life. You can't just thrive in your fitness and then suck as a wife, or suck as an employee, or suck as a business owner. And so let go of the stories with your relationships around money. That's so huge. I never thought I was worthy of earning a lot of money. Commit to changing those stories. Okay, the way you change a story is but you just have to stop telling it. I used to say to myself that I was a product of domestic violence, and that I was a victim of domestic violence. And I used to think that I was destined to fail and to just be regular. And until I changed that story, and then I just shifted that, then it became my power. So stay focused on the money you want to bring in. Lead by example on social media, even if you're not an entrepreneur. Own the impact and the influence you want to have. Embody the result that you're inviting your tribe into. That's powerful. Inviting them into your mechanism. You're like, when you look at my team, a lot of people send me messages like, oh my God, Saudi, I love what you have, the sisterhood. Like, I invited them into this. It's like a magnetism. All right. That is how you're going to build a friendship and a sisterhood so much faster. Because what you project on social media is what's going to manifest in your life. Show your audience the inside scoop of your business, the inside scoop of who you are, and hold yourself accountable. And guys, don't stop sending me messages, because that is not why I'm going to say this. But I really hate when people say, can you hold me accountable? No, I cannot. You have to hold yourself accountable. And the community and the sisterhood and I will be your cheerleader. We're your cheerleaders. We're not here to hold you accountable. What holds you accountable is when you post your food, when you jump on the scale, when you're making your meals, and when you're being open about it. The moment you're not being open about it, how am I going to hold you accountable if I don't know what you're eating? How am I going to hold you accountable if you're not holding yourself accountable? I can't hold you accountable if you're drinking and partying every night and eating, arroz habichuela and freaking chicharrón. Like, I can't, and so if I don't see that, and I know, Cruz, I know you must feel the same way, and Melissa and Deslane, like all of you that are here that have guests, like, it's impossible for us to hold you accountable if you're not holding yourself accountable. That is what the group and the community is for. I can't go over there and pull your ear, because you have to be the one to provide the information for them so that we can help you get better at being accountable, right?
Yeah, exactly. I always tell my girls that I can help you as much as you're helping yourself. There's so much that we can do if you're not doing the rest. So, I mean, we're definitely here, but if you're not giving your side, we can't do anything. There's really nothing.
Absolutely. And I'll be sharing these slides with you guys. There's a couple of things that I want to add to it. But now, thank you so much, Cruz. I don't know if this lady wanted to chime in on anything that we just did before we open it up to some questions. You guys could see each other now? Is it off screen share?
It's off screen share, yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do want to give a couple of things for their journal quickly.
Perfect. Go ahead.
Okay, so this is for your journals, guys, and it's more for the health and wellness part of it. So it's just questions for you to write down and to really think about. So first one is, who would you be if you weren't sick? Now, sick meaning, let's say that there's an illness that you have, or even take it further. How about someone in your family? Who would they be if they were not going through this? Who would you be if you didn't have poor energy? Who would you be if you were healthy? Am I going too fast? I know some of you, I see you writing.
If anything, you will share this in the event page. Okay.
What is the cost of you staying the same? What are the payoffs if you decided to change? And then I want you to think, who do you desire to be? And in order to be that person, what qualities and habits will you need to embody? That's all.
I love it. So Deslane, did you want to chime in? I don't know if Melissa's still on.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So I just wanted to chip in what you said at the end. When someone is there to help you, it's two parts. It's our part and also your part. So we are showing up for ourselves and also for you. So you have to do the same. You have to show up for you and also for the person that is helping you. Because we do everything on our end to help you, to push you, to educate you, to teach you things. But if you're not grabbing things and putting them into action, nothing is going to happen. And another thing that I want to share is that when we, as Ari was saying, taking time for ourselves, living, not just assisting, dating ourselves, working on us, the mindset, the nutrition, the exercise, those things are not only like to lose weight and all of that, and I can speak by experience. So ever since I joined this and all these years of failing and getting back on and, you know, working on myself and my nutrition, my exercise, my mindset, and my growth, it has helped me, not only for me, but also for my child and my spouse. Like, sometimes we only focus on, and you only focus on that, doing personal development and giving yourself time every single day. Your me time is going to help you in all areas of your life. So my growth is now helping me push my spouse, so we can, like Saudi said, we are a team. And if one is growing and the other one is not, it's going to feel weird, and it's going to come like problemas. So everything that you're working on yourself is going to help you, like, in every single day. And not only.
Thank you, this lady. It's so true. And I see that every single day. And it really fills my heart, you know, that you have not only grown, but then you're impacting the people that you love the most. And I think that's one of the biggest things. And a lot of times we get frustrated, guys. Like, I know it could be frustrating, but trust me when I tell you, you just have to be patient. This is not, you know, change doesn't happen overnight. And we're always constantly going to be in the process. I'm still in the process. I still put myself through the process. And, you know, one of the things that I want you guys to do is, you know, really give your time, because I know tonight this was just kind of like briefly get you to get your journal, light up your candle, set the tone, set the room, the ambience, the room. Do this as many times as you need to do it until you feel that you can rock 2020. You are not gonna feel like you can rock 2020 right away, okay? And it's okay, all right? It's okay. This is nobody, there's no rule stating that in the beginning of the year you have to have your, like, a lot of people already lost focus of their New Year's resolutions. And we want to change that. We want to set a new standard. We want you guys to change the next decade. So be okay with tapping into the old decade. Be okay with, you know, patting yourself on the back and saying, I survived the last 10 years. However, it's time for me to map out 2020 and really get what I want. And so how do you get what you want? You got to hold yourself accountable. And the way to hold yourself accountable is to go back to what didn't go good, revisit all those things. And, you know, although me and my friends, you know, we burned the decade, the shit that we didn't want, dude, burning it on a piece of paper is kind of like, I think it was something that was good for us because it kind of got us writing, but that's not just it. You know, you have to have a little conversation with yourself about the last decade. And you have to be really, like, one of my, when I used to work for the School Board of Borough County, I used to be a budget assistant. My principal, one of the things that she always highlighted in my annual review was that I took constructive criticism well. She says, I've never seen someone that would take, because every review, I was employee of the year, I was all these things, but there's always gonna be, but you need to improve this, this, and this. And that was my favorite part, because I felt like it was an opportunity to have that little conversation with myself. And instead of blaming the employees that weren't doing anything, or blaming my husband, or blaming my children, or blaming my team, or blaming my customers or my challengers for the last decade, instead, I take ownership on the things that didn't transpire in my life the way I wanted them to. And I make the decision that in 2020, it's going to be a clean slate, and that I'm going to own the year, and that it's going to be the way I want it to be. And that's why I wanted you guys to start this process. And this book that you assigned for tonight is going to be only for you to jot down all the things that you want. And it doesn't only have to be what you want for 2020, because a lot of the things that I told you for my vision are not going to happen in 2020. Like, I know, you know, it's going to take a little longer, but it's okay, because it's already in existence. It's already on a paper. It's already written somewhere. And that's going to change your reality, guys. All right. In order for you to have the power to accomplish the things that you want in your life, you have to find the things that you're grateful for that you want for 2020. That is how you set intention for the year. Don't be listening to all these, gurus about New Year's resolutions and all this crap and, that you're going to pray on it. No, we need to set intention. And then you have to manifest the things that we went over, because there's a lot of groundwork that has to be done. And it's not just about weight loss. Okay. We already went through all that. So what are we going to do in the next call? So let me just tell you real quick. I don't know if anybody else, I do want to open up for questions, but one of the things I didn't want to leave out is my quote that I put at the end is, one of the things that I believe in is to become your boldest self. You guys always see me hashtag be bold for change, because making a bold lifestyle and being bold enough for change so that you can become and live a life of purpose and abundance, love, and confidence takes a lot of work. And is not anything that I'm going to reach every single year. It's something that I work on every single day. So when you see me write down, be bold for change, that means that I'm bold enough to assume the responsibility to change. Okay, so I'm going to open it up so you guys can, como buenas hermanitas, unmute yourselves one by one. We're going to open up for a rapid fire question, and then I'm going to tell you when the next call is going to be. So I want these calls to be every 2 weeks, but we have something going on that's going to interfere in the next 2 weeks. So the next one is not going to be, so the next one is supposed to be on the 30th, right? But we have a business opportunity, which you guys are all welcome to join and invite to. We're going to be giving you more information for those girls that are coaches. And so the following date available, the following Thursday available, I believe is February 6th. So you can save the date for the next one, February 6th. If anything changes, I'll let you guys know. But for the most part, as of right now, Master Your Mindset, next one is going to be on the 6th of February. Okay. In the meantime, you know that we have the group available. You guys are all in different challenge groups. But let's open it up to some questions. Do we have some, Cruz? Anybody? And Raquel, the recording is going to be posted in the event page, and I'll be glad to email you or message you the recording. Oh my gosh, Shalina's stream was my first program. Yes, Victoria, I remember. Camila says 100%. Okay, so any questions? Oh, wait, somebody's taking a picture. Belky, take that picture, girl. You guys are so cute. Oh my God, Unides, you're here. Oh, you guys, I love you guys. All right, so any questions?
Ask questions, ladies. Don't be shy.
Well, I don't have a question, but I was going to say that it's equally important whether you pray or you go into manifestation or meditation, whatever it is that you do, that you always follow it back up with action, because that's what's important. Whatever you choose, whatever format you choose, whether it be meditation, whether it be prayer. And in the mornings, I think a great thing to do is to go into that journal, and reflect before you start anything. Do your prayers. If you want to do a prayer, if you want to do a meditation, go for it. But you know what? Follow it up with action, because that alone is not going to help you if you're not actually working towards what it is that you want.
And Stephanie asked about the PD books. Girl, Cruz put together this list, and I was like, I don't have time to put it on the slide, so she's going to post it in the event.
I put it in the event page.
Yeah, and some really good podcasts. Yes. I'm going to be a frega because I see Cynthia. And the coach is going to kill me. But I wanted to ask Cynthia to share Cynthia, a couple of minutes. I have been following your journey. Melissa doesn't stop talking about you. I've had the pleasure of hanging out with you a few times after our events. And there's a lot of girls here who are following To Be Mindset. And girls, I want you to just hear this woman. She's going to kill me, but I don't care. Cynthia, do you want to share a little bit? Can you? Oh, let me unmute you. Hi, Cynthia.
Hi. What do you want me to share?
I want you to tell them how amazing it's been. A little bit about your weight loss journey, just whatever comes to your heart. These are just the girls. These are the girls that you see at Super Saturday that are in our challenge groups. And I know that they follow you. And why not share a little bit? You've lost more than 100 pounds. Like, you have so much.
Well, I'm dying to meet Ilana. Like if I see her this summer in Summit, I'm gonna be that crazy girl. I'm just run to her and give her a hug. I'll probably start crying when I see her. But I didn't get a chance to see her this past Summit. But that program has definitely changed my life. I mean, I've always was into working out and all that, but it was my nutrition. And you touched on it. It wasn't just what we were eating, but it was a whole lifestyle. Like I too partied a lot and drank a lot, and that affected, you know, my journey as well, because I resorted to eating crazy. And once I learned the issues that I dealt with, that's what helped me with my nutrition. That's what helped me with my journey. So, I mean, I could go through everything that I went through the last decade, but I went through a bad separation that was a contributor to my weight gain. That's a whole other topic. But went through that, lost my father, almost lost my mom. But through all that, that's when I said, you know what, I have to take care of myself. And the last year was like when I really was all in, because now it's going to be 2 years. But this year I decided to make it a commitment to help others, because I see the people on our team that are helping others. And now that I have a transformation, a huge transformation, you know, now I'm trying to see how can I help others.
I love that. And I see it in you every day. You know, you motivate everyone in the group. You know, every new program that comes out, you do it from start to finish, and you're just unstoppable. And I feel like you're a great example because of your foundation of, you know, the nutrition. And I love that you're leading with the fact that you had so many things happening, but you still showed up. And I know that that's one of the things that stops a lot of us women. I've been, you know, a corporate of that, and I feel like it becomes like a habit. You know, anything big happens in our lives and we immediately stop. And so, Cynthia, I know that one of the things that made you keep going is that you knew you had to get better yourself. But what else, you know, can these women that are on this call tonight tap into when they get that feeling that they just can't, or they just, things are too hard, or there's just too much trauma?
I mean, you got to make that time for yourself. I was just speaking with someone today about it. They were like, "Oh, you know, I admire you. You're doing this, but I'm working 12 hours a day." And I said, "Hello, when I started, I was working 12 hours a day. And I left that job, you know, and it was because of this community and all that made me say, you know what, this is not for me." And I left that job because of that, because it wasn't and it's funny, my word today was being authentic. And that job wasn't to my truth, and that's not what I want to do, and that's why I left that contributor to. But I mean, you got to be selfish, and that was me. The reason why the first thing I would do is I would stop going to the gym. Anytime I had any issue, I would say, no, I can go to the gym. I got to do this. I got to do that. But now it's like, you know what? This is my time. I got to do this, because when you're feeling good about yourself, then you're a better person towards everyone else.
I agree.
That's what I believe.
Cynthia, thank you for letting me put you on the spot. I really admire your tenacity and how you show up every day. One last thing, because I know that for the most part, the girls in my accountability group, they really struggle with getting the nutrition. And I see that it comes so easily to you. And a lot of people say that to be mindset is hard and that it's complicated. Like, is there any tips you can give people, and also share how much weight you've lost and how the numbers also motivated you to continue your nutrition?
I mean, to be mindset to me I think the containers are hard. Like, I think that program is harder compared to be mindset, because to be mindset, if you watch the video, she just makes it so simple. And for me, I'm usually out and about. So I needed to learn how to eat outside besides eating inside. But I cook for myself a lot too. But you just have to follow the program. And once you start following the program, then it becomes natural. I mean, it takes time. And I still eat different things, and I'm still eating the stuff that I enjoy to eat. However, I've made a lot of changes. And my water bottle, I lost it the other day. You can ask Melly. I was like crying on Instagram that I was like, I can't find my water bottle. Then I found it, so I was excited. But and I have a connection with this water bottle. Like, it's sentimental value. I was like so upset when I lost the water bottle. But I mean, it's just following it and creating those habits, those things that you like. And once you start doing that, it just becomes second nature. So that's what worked for me.
How much weight have you lost?
As of today, 122.
Wow. Congratulations. Oh my God. You're like,
Saudi, can I chime in for a second?
yes,
I'm sorry.
I know you must be like dying right now.
I didn't want to talk.
I
didn't want to talk. I even texted you. I don't want to talk. This house is chaotic, but I just want you guys to know that there's always a start date. Okay. Cynthia followed me for 2 years. I sent Cynthia like 4 invitations. Okay. When she made the decision, when she decided it was time to love herself, to dedicate time to herself, she looked for me. That wasn't an invitation at that point. She came, she said, what do I need? I'm ready. Okay? So if something's been nudging you, if you've been on this journey for Lord knows how long, or if you're just about to join us, this is that sign you were waiting for. Pay attention to what Cynthia just said. Listen to those videos. Watch them. Having them in the Beachbody On Demand site and doing nothing with them won't work. It's just like when I bought Bootleg Insanity and I sat here and I was watching it and my husband comes and says, babe, it doesn't work like that. You have to actually do it. So I was trying to figure out if I could do it first. Exactly the same thing with To Be Mindset. You have to put into practice. You have to listen to the videos. I mean, I will never do a call on To Be Mindset that Cynthia is not on it, because she teaches me, she inspires me every single day when I go in my challenge group, exactly like Saudi just said before. When I see that she just worked out and she's showing abs, I'm like, espérate. I gotta get with it. She just motivates the F out of me. So guys, take this as
it's been beautiful to see, Cynthia. So like I've been following your journey for a very long time, and I've had the pleasure, because you put yourself in these situations. Like I got to really meet Cynthia more because she goes to our events, and she wasn't even really pursuing Beachbody, and she went to Summit. She flew out of the state, and there was something that happened to her there that when she came back, she just looked different. Like it's not only that she's showing abs, it's not only that she lost another 20 something pounds, it was more than that. And it was more like she has this deeper love for what this community is. And Cynthia, just so you know, we are working on getting you your Ilana over here, so stand by for that, because Ilana coming soon to New York. Hopefully Melly and I and the girls are trying our best to make it happen. And we need to share something here that's very, very important. So yes, the containers are great for beginners. Like, we're not here to knock the containers, because obviously, a lot of people follow the container system. But I agree with Cynthia, because I, worked with Ilana for so long, and I did the containers. I mean, guys, I've been a coach for like a decade, and I started off, using P90X nutrition to then transitioning over to the containers, and it's all I knew. And so just knowing that there was something else that I was missing, which was the freedom. Like, I felt like when I was doing the containers and once I went out, I was a mess. And so people like me who like to party and can, enjoy eating out a little bit too much, not having the containers, I would lose myself. And so when Ilana's program came to me, came into my life, it kind of helped me bridge the gap between having a little bit more freedom, enjoying life, and then also, tapping into what food does for you for function, the vegetables, and how it gives you more energy, and how you know, what you should eat at night because you need to feel full longer, and why you should eat your carbs in the morning. It's just more of an understanding. And once you get it, guys, you can go anywhere and enjoy. And so we're going to open up for questions. I don't know if anybody did have any questions, and then we're going to wrap it up because we had
I want to say something, Saudi.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes, I want to shout out one of my girls that is here, and she's going to kill me too.
Okay.
I want to shout out Cindy Santis. Fanny, I call her
Where's
Fanny.
Cindy? Oh my God, Cindy's amazing.
Wait, not Cindy Gutierrez, Cindy Santis.
Let me see what she
wait. Cindy Gutierrez is also doing great in her journey, but I want to shout out Cindy Santis because I saw something powerful happening to her. I think she started in Christmas. So when she used to be my ex-manager, by the way, and when she joined me, when she made the decision to join, she joined when we were doing MMA 100. She did a program with me from start to finish. Until right now, she has lost 46 pounds. And when I was checking her Facebook, she didn't have a lot of pictures of her. It was, sharing quotes and all of that. And I saw something after Christmas that she started taking like selfies of herself, full body pictures, because her confidence is going up. And I know many of you can relate to that your phone is full of quotes, picture of your family, your kids, but none of you. And that is because of how we feel. I went through that too. And that has to do a lot with how we feel and our confidence level and all of that. So I want to give a shout out to you, Cindy Santis, because I messaged her. I'm like, do you notice that you are taking more pictures of yourself and sharing? It's like every other minute I see one of her pictures, and I really love that. And do you want to share a little bit, Cindy, Fanny, about you and your journey and how this is like you said, getting to your old self? Let me see.
You're
Unmute
unmuted,
yourself.
Cindy. I unmuted you. Hola, Cindy. I unmuted you.
Well, thank you, this lady. You put me on the spot. Hi, we're just listening. Thank you. So this is very life changing for me. I'm starting to enjoying to everything that all of you have shared with all of us. And yeah, I feel more confident, more happy. I'll, like this lady said, I'll share more in social media about myself and starting like posting pictures. And even my family, my dad was like, "Oh my God, you never posted a picture the other day. You look beautiful." And I said, "Okay." So it makes you feel better. It makes you want to, post more. And that's how it started. And the lady told me the other day, "Oh, yeah, I noticed that you're doing more pictures on Facebook." I put pictures of my dog, of my family, my nephew, my niece, everybody but me. And now it's starting changing. I'm actually right now I don't look at this because I just work out. I just finished it so I can join the call. But yeah, that was before, and again becoming the new me now.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing this, lady. I really appreciate you putting her on the spot because these are the type of things that we want to hear, and I appreciate you sharing that. It's making you more confident, because I think overall that's what we all ultimately want as women, as moms, to feel more confident, for our kids to look at us and feel proud, right? And so since you guys don't have any questions, I want to do something crazy. I want you all to unmute yourselves, and I want you to share how much weight you lost. But wait, we're going to do it all together because I'm going to record, and this is going to sound crazy, and it's probably going to be crazy, but we're going to do it, and we're going to share it on social media. So me don't need it. She's getting nervous. I'm going to unmute, and you're just going to say, I lost. Oh, shit, that's my alarm. What is this? We're going to share, I lost. So I'm going to say, I lost 100 pounds. And you're going to share how much you lost, okay? We're going to count. Should we count to 3? Can we do it on 3? Is everybody unmuted? Are you guys ready? It's going to be crazy, but we're going to do it together, so be ready to record. It doesn't matter how much you lost. It could have been 1 pound, but we're going to share, okay? All right. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I lost 20 pounds. Oh my God, do it again, guys. Do it again.
Oh Lord.
1, 2, 3.
I
lost
59
pounds.
40 pounds. Sorry, but like, do people understand?
It doesn't matter. There's numbers and people hear it. I love you guys. We're gonna share the rest of the podcast in the group. And if you want to keep the party going, you can go into the event page and share how much you've lost and a little bit about you and a picture of your journal. Let's keep the momentum going and motivate each other to really do this work. I think sometimes we tend to put ourselves last, and this time we're not gonna do that. We're gonna put ourselves first. We're gonna set intentions for 2020 and just have an amazing year. And I see you guys on this platform in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. All right, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.